Welcome back to Finance Watcher. If you're only watching XRP's price right now, you may be missing the biggest story. Because while most investors are focused on short-term price action, four major developments are quietly reshaping the XRP ecosystem. Ripple has invested in one of Africa's largest payment companies. Its RLUSD stablecoin is expanding across major exchanges. The XRP Ledger has just received a significant upgrade, and institutional money continues flowing into XRP investment products. Individually, each of these stories is important, but when you connect them together, a much bigger picture starts to emerge. A picture that has less to do with daily price movements and more to do with the future of financial infrastructure. So what exactly is happening? And why are institutions paying attention while many retail investors remain focused on charts? Let's break it down. Before we begin, a quick reminder. At Finance Watcher, our goal is simple. Every day, thousands of news articles, analyst reports, institutional updates, market discussions, and community opinions are published across the crypto industry. Most investors never have time to go through all of them. Our job is to gather the most important information, connect the dots, and help you understand the bigger picture. Now let's get started.
Let's start with what may be one of the most overlooked developments. Ripple recently announced a strategic Series E investment in Flutterwave. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Flutterwave, this isn't a small startup. Flutterwave is one of Africa's largest payment technology companies. The company operates across multiple countries and helps businesses process payments at scale. So why does this matter? Because Ripple isn't simply making a passive investment. The bigger story is the potential integration of Ripple payments, RLUSD, and XRP Ledger infrastructure into one of the fastest-growing payment regions in the world. Think about it. For years, Ripple's strategy has focused on solving real-world payment problems: cross-border settlements, international transfers, business-to-business transactions, and payment efficiency. Africa represents one of the fastest-growing digital payment markets globally. If Ripple succeeds in expanding its infrastructure through Flutterwave's ecosystem, the long-term implications could be significant. Now, this doesn't automatically mean XRP demand suddenly explodes overnight, but it does show that Ripple continues expanding its global footprint, and that's something many investors tend to underestimate. But that's only one piece of the story, because while Ripple expands globally, its stablecoin ecosystem is also growing.
Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin is becoming increasingly important. Recently, RLUSD gained additional exchange support, including listings on Gate.io. The stablecoin is also available across other major platforms, including Binance and OKX. Now, some investors may ask, why should XRP holders care about a stablecoin? The answer is simple. Stablecoins create liquidity, they increase accessibility, and they often serve as a bridge between traditional finance and blockchain-based financial systems. Ripple's long-term vision appears larger than simply promoting XRP alone. Instead, the company is building an entire financial ecosystem, one that includes XRP, RLUSD, Ripple payments, institutional settlement solutions, and tokenized financial infrastructure. The more RLUSD expands, the stronger the ecosystem potentially becomes. And ecosystems are what institutions care about, because institutions rarely evaluate a single asset in isolation. They evaluate networks, infrastructure, liquidity, and long-term utility. Which brings us to another important development. The XRP Ledger itself continues improving.
The XRP Ledger recently released XRPLD version 3.2.0. At first glance, this may sound like boring technical news, but infrastructure upgrades often matter more than headlines. The update introduces important bug fixes, infrastructure improvements, developer enhancements, and performance optimizations. Now here's why this matters. Retail investors often focus on price. Institutions focus on reliability. Before major companies build on a network, they want stability, security,
performance, and scalability. The XRP Ledger has been operating for years, but continuous upgrades show that the ecosystem is still evolving. And evolving infrastructure is often a sign of a healthy network, because no serious financial system remains static. The strongest systems continuously improve. But perhaps the most interesting development isn't happening inside the technology itself. It's happening through institutional capital.
While retail investors debate daily price movements, institutional investors appear focused on something much larger. Reports indicate cumulative historical inflows into XRP investment products have surpassed approximately $1.44 billion. That's a significant number, and it highlights a trend that many investors overlook. Institutional participation doesn't happen overnight. Large funds, asset managers, and financial firms move slowly. They conduct research, analyze risk, review compliance requirements, and evaluate long-term opportunities. When institutional capital begins entering an ecosystem, it's often because those firms see potential beyond short-term price action. At the same time, reports have also highlighted large-scale exchange withdrawals by major XRP holders. Now, it's important not to jump to conclusions. Exchange withdrawals don't automatically mean bullish price action, but they do suggest that some larger participants may be positioning differently than short-term traders. And that's worth paying attention to, because history has shown that institutions and retail investors often focus on very different signals.
Now, let's step back and connect all four stories. Ripple is expanding internationally through Flutterwave. RLUSD is expanding across major exchanges. The XRP Ledger continues receiving important upgrades, and institutional money continues flowing into XRP-related products. Individually, these developments may seem unrelated, but together they point toward a common theme: infrastructure. That's the key word: infrastructure. The most successful financial systems aren't built overnight. They are built gradually, one partnership at a time, one upgrade at a time, one institution at a time. And that's why many analysts believe the real XRP story isn't simply about today's price. It's about whether Ripple can successfully position itself within the next generation of global financial infrastructure. That remains the central question. And it's a question that may take years, not weeks, to fully answer.
Now, I want to hear from you. Which development do you believe is the most important? Ripple's Flutterwave investment, RLUSD expansion, XRPL upgrades, or growing institutional inflows? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's analysis, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Finance Watcher, and turn on notifications. Remember, we're not here to tell you what to buy or sell. We're here to bring together news, institutional developments, analyst opinions, and community discussions into one place. If you leave this video with a better understanding of the market than when you arrived, then we've done our job. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.